It's the new front in Europe's fight against the pandemic. No longer the hesitant, but those dead set against vaccines and COVID-19 restrictions. A fight that's set to get much uglier. Nearly 1 year into the EU's vaccination programme and amid a surge in COVID infections, vaccines are becoming mandatory for entire populations or certain categories, like the elderly or healthcare workers.
Despite months of persuasion, despite intensive media campaigns, despite discussion in various media, we have not succeeded in convincing enough people to get vaccinated.
In November, Austria became the first European country to announce that vaccines would be mandatory for all, starting from February. The far-right Freedom Party immediately called for demonstrations. But it isn't just the far-right. Across Europe and for populist parties from all sides of the spectrum, the COVID-19 measures and vaccines have provided a federating new focus that transcends the old left-right divide.
It's a divide about whether you trust the media or not, and whether you trust your politicians or not. The new divide is between the mainstream and the periphery. And the periphery is made of all kinds of people.
Sophie Tissier agrees. She's helped organise several of France's COVID demonstrations.
We want to create a citizens' opposition which is beyond electoral considerations and much more like a watchdog that sits outside the world of politics. To be able to tell it, look here, you are no longer protecting our rights.
Researchers at the University of Turin have found a strong correlation between anti-vax and populist sentiment, which means that mainstream governments are now taking on those they've already lost.
The result here would be that those anti-vaxxers would hold even more extreme positions. If the vaccine becomes mandatory, then the government would need to have some kind of control about it, and this can also undermine institutional trust.
Increasingly aggressive vaccine policies may force many more people into vaccination centres, but they're also likely to push many more forcefully onto the streets. Melissa Bell, CNN, Paris.